up, man. And I was gonna do a whole video on this, but I said, you know what? I might as well do it on live, man. But look, this what we gotta talk about today, man. This 1090J jailhouse incident. Sweeping the internet, everybody talking about it, but what I don't like is you got certain content creators, and I ain't calling nobody out by name. You see what I'm saying? Because I watch that content, I fuck with them. But what I don't like is, and this continuously happen, it ain't even really got nothing to do with 1090J, but I'm gonna get into his paperwork. But it seems like every time one of these guys that's from outside the culture getting hot water, it's always people inside the culture so quick to run to their defense. But when we in hot water, everybody is mute. Everybody is mute, yo. And that shit, yo, grinds my soul, yo. I can't stand it, man. So this was going on with 1090J, man. Because I actually tried to read the paperwork. It's kind of hard to read, yo, because it's kind of scribble scrab. I tried to lighten it up and all that. Still couldn't get no real clear depiction on what the paperwork actually say. But from what I read, it looked like to me it was a jailhouse incident where 1090J and his homeboy hit a guy with a lock in the sock, or a rock in the sock is what they said. Now, for people that don't know, a rock in the sock or a lock in the sock does major damage. Now, I remember one time I was locked up, yo. Dude got hit with a lock in the sock. Yo, what it is? Dude got hit with a lock in the sock. Oh, wow, yeah. Dude got hit with a lock in the sock and shit. Woke up screaming. I'm talking about, I never forget it. Got up, chased the dude around the dorm and shit. So I was in the dormitory too. And this incident happened in the dorm. I don't know if the guy was asleep when they did it, but more than likely he probably was. So when the dude get up, he hits 1090J with a lock in the sock. Like I say, major damage. So what 1090J is trying to make people believe is, after this incident, he said that the Bloods told him to lay on the ground and play the victim so he don't get rolled out. Let me tell y'all something, y'all. When an incident happened in the joint, everybody involved is getting rolled out. Everybody. So I don't understand what he was trying to what he was saying in that grievance form. Cause that's bullshit. It looked like to me in that form, 1090J was saying anything to get his ass off lockup. And he'd be talking about lockup like, you know, I did time on lockup. Yo, but he ain't want to be there. Most people don't want to be on lockup, yo, but everybody ain't filing grievances. I would like to see if the other guys that was in that same situation filed a grievance. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. Did the other guys file a grievance? But like I say, that's that story that he trying to put out there to the people that he stayed on the ground, or that's what was written. He stayed on the ground because the Bloods told him, and this is what he writing to the warden. He telling the warden that the Bloods told him to stay on the ground so he don't get rolled out. But anybody that been in jail, anybody that been in prison will tell you, when an incident like that happens, all parties involved is getting rolled. All parties involved. Then you're going to get a ticket. Once you get a ticket, you got to have a hearing. Now, he's saying that during this process, when y'all got rolled out, you know, because they're going to question everybody what happened. You see what I'm saying? He said the police saying the whole thing. Cool. But he's saying during this time when he's sitting down talking to the police, they made him write a statement. Yo, that's the same thing people use in interrogation rooms. Yo, they made me say, yo, can't nobody make you say anything. Can't nobody make you say nothing. How did y'all see, yo, how did the police force him to write that statement? You can refuse. I refuse to write it. No, I don't got a statement. And then he said, well, the whole thing was saying on camera. Let me tell y'all something, y'all, and this might sound crazy to some people, y'all. I done seen situations where a person that gets shot on camera. Gets shot on camera. Police don't tell police nothing. It can be on camera. Is that you? No. That ain't me. That ain't me. So I'm not buying this story, y'all. I ain't buying this story, y'all. That grievance form that he filled out, that he sent to the warden, yo, sound like some shit that out his fucking imagination, man. And then, in that same form, He didn't say he was assaulted. He was assaulted by the COs. He said the other guys was assaulted. So why you tell, what's the point of writing it? If he wasn't assaulted, why are you writing the grievance telling the warden what you seen? Make that make sense for me, somebody. Who does that? Niggas that's in the joint, they ain't doing that. They not doing that, man. Those are all characteristics that of a person that will tell given an opportunity. That's what that is. Ain't nobody doing that, man. I'm not writing no grievance to the warden talking about what I saw in the joint, man. At all. He didn't say the police beat him. He said he forced him. Maybe it was physical. But he said during the time when they forced him, he witnessed the police beat up the other 2 inmates. I think he said they was victims as well, or whatever he said. He witnessed that. But why I write that? So I talked about this on Mickey Truth video, and she made it private. But what I talked about on that video was when you in that situation, y'all, you can write a grievance form, and he could have left all the other shit out. He could have left the whole fight out because it's an incident report. These reports got case numbers. He could have referenced the case number in his paperwork, and the warden would have figured, and the warden would have seen everything. You see what I'm saying? She'd have seen the whole incident report, how it was written up and everything. And he could have just, this is what happened. This is what I witnessed. The officer beat them up or whatever. But still, even in that case, why do that, y'all? Why do that, y'all? Because at the end of the day, you wasn't assaulted. And all he was trying to do was get off lockup. That's all he was trying to do. He was trying to get off lockup, and he stuck his foot in his mouth. But you got black YouTubers coming to his defense, y'all, and this is how it always is with us. We so quick to come to other people outside of the culture defense, but let one of us be in hot water. We're going to leave them there to drown. We're going to leave them there to drown. But anytime it's somebody outside of the culture, yo, we is the first people front line. No, this ain't snitching. Let him figure that shit out. Let him figure it out. If people don't think if he say he ain't told, let him figure it out on his own. Why come to his defense? It's like, people just trying to gain favor with him to get some type of shout out or some type of collaboration. Like, yo, I don't respect that, yo. I don't, yo. And that's probably why my channel is how it is. You know what I mean? I stand on my own too. I ain't looking for no cosigns. And I'm gonna get it on my own. I'm gonna get it on my own. Especially I don't need no cosign by him or nobody that look like. I mean, I don't know, yo. I just look at things different, man. I look at things different, yo. And it be pissing me off that every time we got these type of situations, yo, we be the first ones front line coming to these people's defense, yo. In all actuality, he was dead wrong. He was dead wrong. He didn't have to mention them. He didn't have to mention that incident. He didn't have to say them names, even though the police seen it. Even though the police seen it. Nah, man, people get booked and don't tell when it's on camera. Yo, when I got locked up, one of the some of the evidence that was against me was phone records. We witnessed it in YNW Melly case. Phone records. Yo, that's not. I didn't place them calls. Well, who called them? I don't know. I don't know. Y'all told me this guy so marijuana or whatever he do. So anybody could have called him. I be around people that smoke. Who you be around? I don't know. Who be at your house? I don't know. This is how you construct that type of interrogation. I don't know if you in the streets. Now, if you ain't portraying that, if that's not your lifestyle, cool. Tell it all. But when you in the streets, yo, it's rules, it's codes. When you in the joint, it's rules, it's codes, and you gotta live by them. You gotta abide by them. He wrote that grievance up like he was a fucking civilian. Whole time he's a full-fledged alleged gang member, per his words. I'm sure the gang wouldn't approve of that. I'm sure the gang ain't approve of that when he did it. If they found out, they might have just been finding out. But if they'd have found that out while he was in there, he'd have got sanctioned. But now you got people on YouTube saying ain't nothing wrong with it. Man, we wild this shit as a community, man. We better fucking figure that shit out. Let him like he need to do. Figure it out. You've been putting paperwork on niggas all these years. You know, did pretty well for yourself doing it. Now he in the hot seat. Figure it out. Salute the urban politicians too, Big Ant, man. He one of the only top bloggers that I seen stand on modes, man. He know that shit wasn't right, man. You gotta dudes talking about, well, everybody write grievances. Everybody don't write grievances. The only time you write a grievances is you ain't getting fed. You know what I mean? They playing with your food, they playing with your meds. But yo, you don't be writing grievances in reference to fights, man. Hell no. Even if he was trying to tell on the police. But that wasn't going to help him, so why he do it? And that's another thing. He even said it. The guy said, well, was this going to get you off lockup? He said, man, majority of the times you ain't getting off a lockup. So why do it? What was the point? He admitted it wasn't going to get him off lockup. I know it wasn't going to get him off lockup. So why do it? That's the question I got for the people that's standing by him and saying that shit wasn't telling. And I'm out.